Hello, and welcome to the Warrior's Way. I am Cephalonema, here to guide you through the path to knowledge. This is the warrior. Skilled in the ways of combat, he will demonstrate the various attacks used in stances throughout this index. Today, he is to wield the Nikana Prime, with standard coloring. The Nikana Prime will be used to demonstrate the Blind Justice stance for Nikana Class weapons. Blind Justice is characterized by a reverse grip style emphasizing slashing and impaling strikes. The warrior will now demonstrate the Zato's Greed technique. A Zato's Greed strike is constructed from 4 relatively simple motions. First, the warrior strikes laterally through the torso of the opponent, and follows the blow with a slash across the head, neck, or chest. A simple spin is used to deter unwanted interruptions, blending seamlessly into a final downward cut to strike the victim dead. Although not requiring much skill of a tenno, this simple combination can rid them of a bold and foolish enemy quickly. The warrior will now demonstrate the guiding light technique. By starting with the first 2 motions of a Zato's Greed method, guiding light builds from the initial foundations of the Blind Justice stance. From these motions, however, the guiding light lunge uses a forward dash to either escape combat, still having inflicted damage on the aggressor, or more likely, to close the distance between the tenno and their target. A fast double strike to the torso is used immediately upon reaching the enemy. By using a figure of 8 motion, the warrior has conserved energy, momentum, and time in this strike. From this double strike, the Nikana is thrust forward into the target's abdomen and quickly withdrawn to be compounded with a strong upward sweep from hip to shoulder. Another smaller lateral cut finishes the technique, and the opponent along with it. The warrior will now demonstrate the heeding call technique. Heeding call strikes are used in situations where only the area ahead is filled with opponents. Starting with a strong, sweeping cut, and proceeding to once again use the figure of 8 to move efficiently, the immediate forward area has been plagued with a barrage of slashes. The enemies injured are then to be ignored, as their warrior leaps through their ranks to strike the ground with force, enough to drive nearby enemies to the ground, where they may be quickly dealt with. The warrior will now demonstrate the Destined Path technique. The Destined Path strike is the most intricate in the Blind Justice stance, demanding some skill from the tenno who use it. An upward cut is used to stagger the opponent, and 2 successive jabs to the abdomen are quick to follow. Capitalizing on the figure of 8 motion, the warrior cuts deeply into the enemy, suddenly accelerating and repeating the motion. Having slain the initial target with a final downward swing, a running spin is employed to carve through the swarming army towards a single soldier, instigating another conflict, or perhaps simply cutting them down with a punishing vertical sweep. This concludes the first lesson in the Warrior's Way Index. The Blind Justice stance for Nikana Class weapons has been explored. I thank you for learning through my index and hope that you return for another lesson soon.